I was kind of a rebel at times, my own idea about things. You know, when you're young and 25, the world doesn't seem so dangerous. I just wanted to see America. It was one of the places that I wanted to visit because it's one of the natural wonders of the world.
The Grand Canyon is known as an epic tourist destination. To get to the waterfalls, Linda and Coco Jin must first drive to a staging post at the beginning of the hike.
I didn't know that it would take me as long as it did because it was, I think, maybe about 35 miles. But it was all dirt road, so it took me a couple of hours to get through that and to finally get to the hilltop.
But as the afternoon draws on, the trail appears endless.
As I kept walking, I noticed that the sun was starting to go down.
With the light beginning to fade, Linda knows she has to get to the Indian village before nightfall. And as she reaches the end of the trail,
there was a sign.
You can make your way down to the Supai village, and the falls are right down there.
But the sign was not well marked. I didn't know whether or not to make a right or a left.
one way leads towards the waterfalls and the safety of the Indian village. The other out into the vast wilderness of the Grand Canyon.
For some reason, I made a right-hand turn.
Thinking she's heading towards the village, Linda heads off with Coco. But after yet another hour of walking, there's still no sign of life. Linda's backpack weighs over 20 pounds and is slowing her down.
I knew I could make better time without it because it was beginning to feel very heavy on my back.
Ditching the backpack will mean leaving behind her sleeping bag, food, and only supply of water.
I would have nothing except, the clothes that I had on my back and a few items that I had in my purse.
With no experience of being out in the wild, Linda makes a terrible decision.
I thought I could always come back for it the following morning. My priority at that point in time was just to make it to the Indian reservation, make it somewhere safe before dark. And just kind of overcome by fear. The first night was devastating. It was very, very scary. You just can't see, other than the stars that are out. There's no artificial lighting of any kind.
As the temperature on the canyon floor plummets, Linda is totally unprotected against the cold.
In my backpack, I had my sleeping bag, and I had all my food supply and my water.
In the pitch black night, it's impossible for Linda to find her backpack.
So without that, I really had nothing to protect me from the elements and nothing to sustain me.
Her only source of comfort is her best friend, her pet dog, Coco Jin.
Coco Jin just stayed by me. I was thankful to have him because we could cuddle up with one another and, he would offer some warmth. I cried off and on, I think, the entire night, just out of fear and not knowing what was going to happen to me. The next morning when the sun came up, because I had wandered around, I wasn't really sure where I was. I wasn't oriented.
During the night, Linda wandered off the trail and has now lost her bearings in the maze of the Grand Canyon Valley. She's completely stranded in 2,000 square miles of barren wilderness.